Yo, 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 what's good? Maximus here. All right, listen, let me get right to it. Came here today because America, we have a problem. And the problem is that America is literally attacking the civil rights of Black people. The things that have been happening as of late, the overturning of Voter Registration Act, well, not voter registration, but a Voter Rights Act in Tennessee, which really is just a follow up to what was already done in Texas. Meanwhile, when the Democrats tried to do the same thing in Virginia, the Supreme Court was like, nah. And they were trying to do it the right way. And guess what? Still denied them. Why? Because we have to cut the bullshit, okay? Let's be honest. All right, let's stop with all this. All right. My thing is that Black people, we gotta stop bitching. I know that sounds crazy, right? Like, what do you mean? All these things happening, not supposed to say nothing. How many of y'all brand new to this earth, especially to the United States of America? This country was built on unjustly treating citizens that they deemed as lesser than the citizens that they hold up at the top of the food chain. We have been treated as second class citizens from our inception. This is nothing new. This is not a surprise. This is simply a reflection, a reaction, a wake up call to let y'all know that you're still niggas. You might have some, successful Black people out there, millionaires, even a couple of billionaires, and all of that is cute and it's cool. But if the Diddy situation didn't show you, and trust me, I am not even supporting that guy. But if the Diddy situation did not show you that the moment that you move the wrong way, they will snatch that rug from up under you and show you the boy you really are on the inside, then I don't know what to tell you at this point. None of this is a surprise, at least not to me. Oh, the Supreme Justice Court justices, blah, blah, blah. Of course, there's skin folk who ain't kinfolk who's helping them out. They had that way back when motherfuckers ended up on the Mayflower. You think that they infiltrated and enslaved all of those powerful ass Black people without some kind of assistance from the native people there? Of course. They lined their pockets in gold and they dragged these motherfuckers on the ships, showed them the weaknesses, manipulated them, told them about their customs. Let me tell you something, man. This is a long game, okay? There's nothing surprising about this. This Project 2025 that they're enacting now is just a continuation of the same handbook that they've been reading since America's inception. None of this is new. None of it. You need to just get next to it. You have to be willing to get down and get dirty if you are hoping to actually be effective. The problem is the Democrats are motherfucking soft. SAWFT, soft. Most of the Black leaders of today, soft, ineffectual. A bunch of word salad that ain't gonna do nothing but maybe enact a couple of emotions and shed a couple of tears and talk some shit. Who cares? At the end of the day, if you want something to actually happen, you have to be willing to take action. Beat them at their own game. Oh, they want to gerrymander the thing? Well, black people didn't know how to vote when it counted. So guess what? You learn your lesson. This is a teachable lesson. What you do now is you come out like you did when Obama first ran for president and you vote in aggressive numbers, and the gerrymander map don't make a motherfucking difference, Dad. They could gerrymander all day. But if you come with your numbers in droves, because understand, there's plenty of white folk that's just as pissed off about this situation as we are. Plenty of white allies and allies of other races who stand us beside us. A lot of these other races, women that stand beside us. You know why they stand beside us? I'll tell you why they stand beside us. Because it was the civil rights movement that gave the way to the women's suffrage movement, which allowed women to have the same rights as us. They still be getting smacked in the back of their heads and being told that they can't do nothing but cook, clean, and shut the fuck up if it wasn't for the civil rights motherfucking movement. They didn't forget that. Trust me. We stood up for them and they are ready to stand up with us. But you got to be willing to make the move. Not sit here giving heartened speeches about, oh, and we are tired of this and we're sick and tired of that and blah, 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 blah. Who gives a fuck? I'm black and I don't care to hear it. When I listen to one of those impassioned speeches from the tops of the mountain top to the bottom of the valley, I don't want to hear that bullshit. I want to hear, hey, we're going to get up, we're going to do this thing, and we're going to make this thing happen because, God damn it, that is our God-given right as existers on this damn planet. Enough. Because honestly, I am not interested in the talk anymore. The only talking I'm doing is right here on this motherfucking microphone, hoping that somebody is going to say, yeah, that's right. We're going to stand up. We're going to take action. No, this isn't about being ignorant and doing a January 6th, but we need to come with the same energy they came with. They believed in something. They stood up, and even though they handled it the wrong way, they still at least took action. We need to come with that kind of action. I don't want to hear nobody crying about how unfair it is. It ain't never been fair for us in America. It still ain't fair for us now, and it probably won't be fair for us tomorrow. And guess what? What are you going to do about it? Are we going to do anything? Or are we going to sit there and fucking cry? Because I, for one, am not interested in the boohoo baby stories. I, for one, am not interested in listening to somebody saying, oh, woe is me. Oh, poor me. Oh, they took away our voting rights. And go get them back. I remember when I was young, if somebody tried to bully me, which is funny because I'm a big ass dude, but they would test you back in the day. And I remember my mom told me this. I didn't even have the situation happen, but she hammered this into me and my sister's mentality. If you want something, you got to open your mouth, stand up straight, be proud of yourself, and go get that motherfucking shit. Ain't nobody going to hand you a goddamn thing. Why do we expect to be handed anything? Oh, we didn't get reparations. Okay, and why would they take accountability for something they did? Why would that ever happen? You got to understand who you're dealing with here. You're not dealing with a typical situation where you could say, "Oh, well, if we work together, then maybe we can make a blah 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 happen." Oh, please listen. Yes, the words mobilize and get active need to happen. They need to be things where we take action, not just talk about it. Because the problem is, and this is where I'm fed up. The problem is, if we spent a lot of time talking, everybody gets in their feelings for 3.5 seconds, then they go off to work, they go off to do this, they go off to do that, and we just continue to watch the news as the gas price rises to the sky. The people make a killing on the stock market off of our struggling. The price of everything goes up. Unemployment goes up. Our blood pressure goes up because we're stressed over all the bullshit that we got to deal with. And our fucking net worth goes down because our dollar decreases in value by the day as we make the same amount of money to cover 3 times the amount of shit. This is the time where I challenge. And the thing is, I have no problem doing it myself. Zero. If I have to do it myself, then God damn it, I will do it my motherfucking self because I take no issue with making this move myself. If that is what it takes, I will happily take the reins and be the leader. I have no fear. And I don't care. And I am a nothing to lose motherfucker. I'm a big black man with an IQ of 141 and enough pissed off energy to break foot off an ass from here to fucking California. But the thing is, I'm not going to do it with violence. No. I'm going to do it with this. Outsmart them at their own game. Outflank them. They're vulnerable and they know that. I'm a registered independent, but I stand with you progressives and you Democrats. You know I don't stand with? The corporate Democrats. Y'all can go fuck yourselves because y'all been sitting up here eating off the same plate as the Republicans that are all sitting up here putting us through all this fucking struggle that we're dealing with now. So I have no interest in engaging with y'all. It's time for y'all to become the minority. In reality, those that think they're the majority really ain't. You put the black people together with the working class white folks that's in the same struggle as us. You put them along with the Asians and the Hispanics and the Indians and the Native Americans and the Chinese. Listen, Chinese, Japanese, Korean. Let me tell you something. And the one minority that has walked with us arm in arm in the civil rights movement, the Jewish population. You put all of us together, we are an unstoppable majority that is like a wave of vengeance crashing upon their shores. It's a wave that they know they can't motherfucking stop. That's why they are afraid. That's why they're enacting all this stuff. That's why they keep trying to find ways to manipulate the system and rig the game. That's why we in this pointless war. Don't get those ignorant, homicidal Israeli government confused with the Jewish people. Most of the Jewish people hate this shit. They don't want that shit any more than we do. They just want to coexist. Don't let the propaganda machine fool you. They just want to coexist. They settled there just like we settled here. If we, it's one of them situations where it is what it is at this point. We got to all learn to work together as citizens of this planet. Understand that the elite are acting like the majority, but in reality, they know they're the minority. But they know how to manipulate enough of the majority to stand at their side to help perpetuate their agenda. You ever seen The Matrix? Remember how humans were batteries for the system? That's basically what y'all are batteries feeding their system so that you can perpetuate it and keep it going. But enough is enough. It is time to truly take action. I love this, actually. I said this before on my TikTok. You can find me under Maximus 2145, I believe. I don't remember TikTok handle on top of my head, but it ain't important. What's important is what I said. And what I said was, I want to see it. I said that. I said, all this shit, I want to see it. These people going hard, thought Trump was going to be their guy. You're a regular working class person. You really want to believe that he was going to be the man to bring affordability down and improve your quality of life overall in this country called America? One of the biggest fuck-ups ever to exist as a business person? The luckiest Nepo baby to ever exist? You thought he was going to actually do something effective other than put his name on something? Don't nobody want to see your ugly ass, Otis. But for some reason, y'all believed him enough to elect him. Plenty of black folks, same thing. They shuck and jive and soft shoed their way to the polls and samboed onto that sheet and said, I'm voting for Trump. How's that feeling now? You feel satisfied? You feel vindicated as your civil rights comes down? Listen, you idiots that went and voted for him are going to end up being strange fruit. If you don't know what that is, go look up that song and listen to it. The thing is, at the end of the day, I am here ready to rock and roll, ready to take action using this, because most of them barely have enough brain power to fit on the tip of this. I call this administration a Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey circus of administrations. Half the time when I'm watching this shit, I'm like, yo, am I in a cartoon? Like, is this real? And then I say to myself, America, this is what you aren't reflecting, what you represent. Because understand, the government is supposed to be a representative of its people. If this is a representative of its people, then we as a nation may just need to do a master reset. Because if just because we had one black president out of the 47 presidencies that we've had, if we are mad because we've had one black one, and it makes you react to the extreme that you go and put Donald Dumbass in the White House, as you did, and you really think that that was a smart idea, then you are also a part of the problem. No saying I'm sorry, I didn't know. You knew. But your hatred, your racism, your sexism, all of that played a part into why you decided to vote for the America's worst top president. This guy is a clown in orange makeup, a babbling buffoon that lucky if he could even tie his shoes straight, sitting there bragging because he got flashcards right when they said, this is a cat, this is a bear, this is my middle finger, go fuck yourself. Enough is enough, people. If you aren't like to be pissed off, like me, I'm pissed off. But I'm pissed off because I stayed in this country when I could have left. That's what I'm pissed off about. But I'm here. And you know, I listened to the brother doing a very, I don't even remember what his name was. Somebody in the comments will correct me because the internet always has their 2 cents, but he does the whole "we still here" speech. And he's right. We are still here. We were here before you. We will be here after you're gone. You can try to get rid of us, but we're stronger, faster, and smarter than you are, sirs. You know that your time of ignorance, racism, segregation, Jim Crow, all of that shit, you 1950s son bitch motherfuckers is all on your deathbeds or close to it. And a lot of the young kids aren't on that same timing as you. Yeah, there's some that y'all brainwashed into it, but they're even a smaller minority than y'all are. You're not half as massive as you think you are compared to the opposition. We just need to recognize it. No longer should they manipulate us, play games with the gas prices and all that other stuff. That is intentional, friends. They could solve this issue. Iran would work with them if they actually came to the table with something that made sense. Iran's people are very intelligent people. Do they do everything right? No. What nation does? May the nation with the least sin throw the first stone. But please, again, America, you in a glass house, you might not want to throw none. We are a living example of that. So, this is what we do next. Figure out who you want to truly actually be the leading and following individuals in this particular circumstance. These politicians of today, Chuck Schumer, you fucking ass kissing, apple polishing motherfucker, your ass needs to get the fuck out of here too. And those that are just like you will be out the door to fuck with them. Any soft shoeing Sam Bowen ass Negroes, they could go take their asses the fuck on out here too. We send you right over there with the rest of the ignorants while we create a society that thrives. Ask yourselves, who do you think is a viable leader for that? Y'all don't know me. I would say myself. But that's up to y'all. But if there's a viable person, please, by all means, come on down. We need somebody with enough youth and energy to actually invigorate, to actually get out there and be able to walk, march. But not just march. We don't need any more No More Kings protests. Who cares? Those things have become big ass cookouts and hangouts at this point. What we need is actual action instead of focusing on love and hip hop's bullshit or what celebrities breaking up with who or whatever else. No, no, my people. No, no. Each one go to every single family member that you have the phone number of. Each one of y'all. This is your mission. Make sure they register the vote. If they can't walk, you get a wheelchair and roll their ass on in there. And you make all of them motherfuckers vote. Each and every single one of them. Because they fear that. They are showing their hand. This is why they're manipulating it. Because the vote is the thing that they fear the most. Because if we come in a wave of numbers against every agenda that they try to set forth against us, they can't win. They know that. They're going to manipulate the game just so you feel like it's hopeless, so that you don't try. Don't fall for the okie doke. This is psychological manipulation 101. Psychological warfare is what's being played, and you need to be armed with the right tools to be able to fight off the bullshit. They're going to throw distractions at you. Economic struggle, this, unemployment, inflation, inflated gas price, Ain't none of that shit going to get fixed by being pissed off and just talking in your house by yourself. You want this to be fixed? You got to be willing to go outside, make it happen, mobilize your people. Be like, if you fuck with me, go vote. Understand what's at risk here. And that is something that has to happen from now on, not just now, and then we make things good and everybody sit back and says, all right, we don't know. From now to the end of time, we need to be on this timing because they've been on this for 250 fucking years. This ain't no game they just made up 5 minutes ago. They've been setting this motherfucker up for the longest. They might take a loss, but then they make 3 wins behind that loss. No more will the perpetuation of white supremacy and oppression and sexism and any other kind of discrimination be accepted. Every single human being in this country that are citizens of this country have the alienable rights as citizens of this country to partake in the political system, to choose the way that they want to exist. Richest country in America, the worst healthcare system ever for us, government, for a superpower. Why? That's our fault. Because we ain't putting the right motherfuckers in the right place. You don't like what Social Security look like? That's our fault. Because we are asleep at the wheel. You know how many congressmen are just reelected because nobody even does the homework to know who your congressmen actually are? So you just check the one that they think looks good and say, oh, okay. That's why we have somebody like Chuck Schumer's goofy ass sitting in there still. We need new blood to step up and be the new age politicians. People like myself. Yes, I keep referring to myself because I know I can do this shit backwards, forwards, and sideways. We need people like me, people who have had to fight, deal with layoffs, had to deal with all types of struggles and fights, had to deal with the day-to-day bullshit, working 14-hour fucking days, breaking your ass just to make it happen, carrying an entire family, and all other types of things. We need people like that in those positions. The regular, everyday working people. Because that is the representative of America, not the 5% who control so much wealth because of the leveraging and lobbying that they do to those politicians, be they Democrat, Republican, or other, who line their pockets and lobby for them because they're getting the wheel greased. We need to change the way all of this goes, people. It's not just one thing, it's everything. And now is the time to take the time to make that change happen. If you're tired of the bullshit and you really want to make something happen, then it's time that we push narratives that are effective and relevant to us. And if it isn't, we get it the fuck up out of here. They can gerrymander a map all they want, but they can't gerrymander the entire goddamn country. There's just not enough of them. So don't worry about the voting gerrymandering. Democrats grow a pair and start doing the same rule breaking that the Republicans are doing. You go do it anyway, just like they do. When they stop, we will stop. If they don't stop, there ain't nobody gonna stop. We're like Diddy, can't stop, won't stop. Damn, that's my second Diddy reference in this fucking show. But anyway, this is what needs to happen. So now I leave it up to you, the citizen. Are you truly tired? Do you want to have a quality of life to be able to spend time with your family instead of working crazy amount of hours just to afford to be broke? Are you tired of that? Because if you're tired of living that lifestyle, then stop supporting agendas that only benefit the rich and recognize that there's more at stake than just the color of your skin. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what color you are, unless you're a part of that elite, we are all in this together. And if we stand together, there ain't nothing they can do to stop it. They know that. But do you? I'll holler at y'all on the next one. Y'all be safe and stay blessed. Peace.